Coming up on this week's edition of the SKNIS Week in Review, National Disaster Coordinator urges residents to stay up to date with developments of active hurricane season. Interest up in all three options of the Citizenship by Investment program, and police win 5th annual drills competition. Those stories and more are next on the SKNIS Week in Review for the period October 13 to 19, 2017. And welcome, I am Ian Richards. The heavy downpours and flash flooding experienced last weekend in St. Kitts and Nevis were associated with a tropical wave that caught many people by surprise. On Monday, the National Disaster Coordinator, Carl Herbert, said it was a perfect reminder of why residents should stay up to date with local weather bulletins. Mr. Herbert noted that the end of the hurricane season is still 6 weeks away and implored residents to remain in a state of readiness.
Do not park in guts and water courses, as this can be detrimental to all concerned. That comes to mind especially of the recent rains we had on the weekend, which resulted in many of the guts flowing very heavily. Monitor the situation locally for weather information and make certain that you have your emergency supplies, etc. in place on a continuous basis throughout the season.
Now, the 2017 Atlantic hurricane season is breaking a few records. It's among the top 10 all-time most active seasons ever recorded. Many experts predict that the frequency and the intensity of tropical cyclones are likely to increase as the climate continues to change. The adverse effects of climate change to coastal areas and marine life in St. Kitts and Nevis is the focus of a new project being implemented by the USAID Climate Change Adaptation Program, or CCAP. 2 coral reef monitoring buoys that are known as Coral Reef Early Warning System stations will be placed at separate nearshore locations. Dr. James Hendy, Director of the Ocean Chemistry and Ecosystem Division at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration / Atlantic Oceanographic and Meteorological Laboratory, familiarized local stakeholders on the CCAP project and their responsibilities.
We wanted to give an overview of the program, which is what just concluded, and the next part will be to conduct a site survey in which we'll go to the different coral reef areas that you, the local host country, feel are important. We'll look to see if the bottom type is correct for installing these pins that actually hold the buoy in place. And then after that, we'll wait for till next year, and we'll bring the buoy back over here. We'll install the buoy and make sure the data are transmitting through either a cell phone or through satellite, and the data come back to our laboratory in Miami. We have an automated system to where we produce the data online and also produce these ecological forecasts that will tell us if conditions are conducive for coral bleaching, for instance, or many other types of environmental phenomena.
Coral reefs are vital as they contain the most diverse economic systems on the planet. They also protect coastlines from the destructive force of wave action and tropical cyclones, as well as provide shelter for many marine organisms. The Chief Executive Officer of the Citizenship by Investment Unit in St. Kitts and Nevis, Liz Khan, says there has been an increase in the level of interest in all three investment options under the Federation's Citizenship by Investment program since the government announced in September the addition of a temporary hurricane relief fund option. Mr. Khan recently returned from a trip to the Middle East, where he actively promoted the Hurricane Relief Fund, as well as the real estate and the Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation options to international marketing agents and potential clients.
It was interesting that we did run into a number of agents who said that they were receiving interest from individuals interested in our SIDF. So there were a combination of factors. There were agents out there who were also of the opinion that the Hurricane Relief Fund might impact their sale of the real estate option that we had. And again, after discussions and individuals understanding what our product was all about, we felt that this was not the case. There were still applications being received on real estate and will continue to be received in real estate.
12 women from the Skills Training Empowerment Program, or STEP, successfully concluded a training program last Friday that equipped them with entrepreneurial skills. Topics included building a business plan, products and services, marketing skills, and management. On the last day of the workshop, they were placed in groups to utilize the skills they learned and formulated a business model which they presented in front of their peers. The workshop was organized by the Ministry of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the National Entrepreneurial Development Division and the St. Christopher and Nevis Social Security Board. The workshop participant, Tiana Frederick, shared her thoughts on the session.
The workshop was very interesting. We have a variety of ladies came here. We all share our knowledge, and it was quite an experience. And I don't just want us to take knowledge that we receive and just sit there and don't let it happen. I want us to explore it and not just wait for somebody to come and steal our ideas and take it away from us.
Training at the Advanced Vocational Education Center, AVEC, has improved quite significantly as the leadership seeks to equip students with the necessary skills and attitudes to lead positive and productive lives. On Wednesday's edition of Working for You, AVEC's director, Clyde Christopher, highlighted his vision to transform the institution.
I needed to change the appearance of the institution, how people viewed it, what they saw physically. The second thing was to ensure that the institution was adequately equipped with all of the requisite equipment to run the program. And the third portion of the vision was to ensure that the programs and the systems are now in sync with what we want, and we are at phase 3 right now.
The painting of the school, addition of a gazebo, upgrading of the computer lab, construction of a cosmetology facility, and revamping of the automotive division are some of the accomplishments to date that have enhanced the learning environment. 4 primary school graduates from various public schools each received financial assistance from Tropical Shipping to the tune of US $250 in support of their academic potential and performance. The recipients of the first ever Tropical Shipping Award include Ishmakida Maccabee from the Deep Primary School, Zanaya Jeffers from the Tucker Clark Primary School, Brianna Davis from the Estridge Primary School, and Tanisha Warner from the Dr. William Connor Primary School. They each received a voucher to be used at the school Apex and Sun Island Close to purchase uniforms, books, and other school supplies. Permanent Secretary, the Ministry of Education, William Hodge, welcomed the initiative.
We acknowledge and welcome your efforts to give back to the citizens of St. Kitts for their kind patronage. It is a means not only of providing tangible incentives to motivate students towards academic excellence, but also a monetary donation that eases the financial burdens of struggling families.
The 5th annual Independence Drills competition proved to be the most closely contested yet when it was held on Friday, October 13, in front of Rams Supermarket on the Bay Road. In fact, just 1 point, 94 to 93, separated the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force as the winner in the team category from Scasper. The same 1 point difference was also recorded in the individual category, where Delroy Bell earned 281 points to beat Tariq Jones at 280. Both men are from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. The other participants were Latoya Percival and Andy Williams of Bravo Company in the St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force, Giovanni Weeks and Jamal Wyatt, the St. Christopher Air and Seaport Authority, Livingston Gishard of the St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Service, Randy White and Beverly Carey of Her Majesty's Prison, and Delany Griffin of the St. Kitts Nevis Cadet Corps. And finally, the Department of Youth Empowerment is now operating from the top floor of the cable building in Barstair, making it easier for staff to engage with and to meet the needs of young people in St. Kitts and Nevis. The department was temporarily housed at the Media Center at the Warner Park Cricket Stadium until the office space after the cable was ready. Diane Donald Francis is a senior youth officer.
And we are much comfortable here, have a lot more space, and we open our doors for our young people for more opportunities, and we welcome the public as well.
For more information, be sure to visit our website, sknis.kn. That's all for this edition of the SKNIS Week in Review. I'm Ian Richards.